being Jayson Tatum. And you can't find minutes, can't find 1 minute. I'm trying to get away from cussing. But Steve Kerr, that's some straight bullshit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Around the Association. Well, everyone saw Team USA playing Serbia, ended up getting the win, but even more than Kevin Durant's return, the talk was really about Jayson Tatum. The fact that Jayson Tatum didn't get to play during the game, coming off an NBA championship, coming off of his, playing really well in Tokyo just 4 years ago and winning the gold medal. It's just very interesting, and a lot of people had a lot of smoke for Steve Kerr. Now, Steve Kerr tried to defend the way things played out. I'm going to play a video of what he had to say, and then, Stephen A. Smith and others actually going in on Steve Kerr's decision.
Your best game of the whole summer to this point, but you didn't get to use Jayson Tatum, who's obviously one of the best players in the league. Obviously, that's one of the hard things to do in your role.
Yeah, it's tough, but Jayson handled it really well. I talked to him today before the game that it may play out this way, just with Kevin coming back and the lineups that I wanted to get to. But that'll change. Jayson's going to play. Every game's going to be different based on matchups. He's a total pro. He's first team All-NBA 3 years in a row. I felt like an idiot not playing him, but in a 40-minute game, you can't play more than 10. You really can't. And so I think he's an amazing guy, great player, and handled it beautifully. And he'll be back out there next.
It being Jayson Tatum, and you can't find minutes in a 26-point lopsided victory. You can't find being Jayson Tatum, and you can't find minutes in a 26-point lopsided victory. You can't find 1 minute. I'm trying to get away from cussing because I'm not the most religious person in the world, but I'm a decent human being that loves the Lord, and my pastor's watching me sometimes, and I know he gets mad at me when I cuss. But Steve Kerr, that's some straight bullshit. You gotta be kidding me. All these people getting on my damn nerves. And to have him go through an entire NBA season and then go through the playoffs and capture a championship and still take time in his offseason to join Team USA and to have a champion riding the bench like he's some damn water boy. You got to be kidding me. Really hard in a 40-minute game to play more than 10 guys. It's Team USA. Zero.
In the game where it's a positionless sport. When you talk about the game of basketball, when you talk about a guy like Jayson Tatum, he's not nailed down to one position. Jayson Tatum is a versatile player, meaning if you want him to play the point, he could play the point. If you want him to play the 2, he could play the 2. If you want him to play the wing, the 3, the 4, the 5, whatever you want him to play, he's 6'9" with a versatile package on both ends of the floor. Jayson Tatum, the last time the Team USA won the gold, Kevin Durant was the best player. You know who was the second best player? It was Jayson Tatum. My thing is, if you're Steve Kerr, and Steve Kerr called out all his accolades and what this man has accomplished, you know what Jayson Tatum is going to bring to the table. You do not disrespect him and embarrass him the way that you did. Because in this world today, we live in a world of social media. We can't run from it. We can't hide from it. It's right there in front of our face. And nowhere in here you're going to tell me that Jayson Tatum wasn't embarrassed. The brand of looking on social media or hearing about it, because at the end of the day, yes, we should be talking more about Kevin Durant. Yes, we should be talking more about LeBron James after what they did last night. But you know what was the real topic of the game? Jayson Tatum with a DNP. My thing is, if you asking me who he's going to replace, he's going to replace Derek White.
The current roster, no one received more MVP votes for the 23-24 season than Jayson Tatum. Keep that in mind. Mm-hmm. He's coming off a year, or he's just a couple of months removed from winning an NBA championship where he was really close to probably being the MVP. It ended up being Jaylen Brown, who's not even on the team. That's another story entirely that we'll get into. I don't know.
Yeah.
Does Anthony Edwards have to play ahead of him? Does Drew Holiday have to play ahead of him?
How about Joel Embiid? Does he have to play ahead of him? The way he's been playing.
I get it. I understand it's going to be 10 guys.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why they put Halliburton on the team as a young player who kind of understands what his role is going to be. And you put, Steve Kerr's got to make these tough calls, but it's got to be Jayson Tatum. I listened to our buddy Tim Legler. Tim Legler actually said it was disrespectful what he did to Jayson Tatum. And he knew all the background that he had told him that he wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
He just thinks I understand what Steve Kerr is doing, but how do you reach the conclusion that it should be Tatum just based on what everyone on the team has done over the last couple of months? He's going to be the odd man out. I'm not saying it's got to be LeBron shouldn't be the odd man out or Kevin Durant, but how is Jayson Tatum the odd?
Now, Frank Sola, he alluded to, what Tim Legler actually said in relation to how it was an embarrassment to Jayson Tatum. And this is the exactly what Tim Legler had to say about the way Steve Kerr didn't play Jayson Tatum.
I totally disagree with what happened to him today. I thought it was incredibly disrespectful. Jayson Tatum's got a hell of a resume. Jayson Tatum has got a much greater resume than guys on that team today that were playing a lot of minutes. You mentioned two teammates. They played 40 minutes between the two of them. Derek White, Drew Holiday. And you could say, well, they play a different position. And if you're Jayson Tatum, you're dealing with Anthony Edwards and Kevin Durant on the wing. Okay. Jayson Tatum's been all league how many times? Jayson Tatum's an NBA champion. Jayson Tatum's had MVP votes. I mean, Jayson Tatum to not play in this game. And I didn't hear anything about Tatum going in. By about middle of the second quarter, I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting here, because what happens is you reach a point of no return as a head coach, and they reached that by the middle of the second quarter. Unless you got Jayson Tatum on the court for the last 5-6 minutes of the second quarter, and maybe he comes out there and plays great, that would lead to more minutes in the second half. Once he didn't play in the first half, it becomes then something for the coach to not disrespect him. As crazy as that sounds, it's more disrespectful to give him a few minutes at the end of the game than not play him. Because by not playing him, Steve Kerr is saying, you know what? I can't play 12 guys. Can't play 12. So on a given night, it's not going to be somebody's turn. Tonight, I guess he decided it was Tatum and Halliburton's turn. And maybe it would have been different if Durant came in and went 2 for 6. Maybe Tatum gets some of those minutes in the second half. I don't know that to be the case. And playing 12 guys is damn near impossible when you're actually playing for something. And an all-star game is one thing. This is really tough. My point is then, if it's so hard, don't take 12 guys. None of these – no, seriously, none of these players should go through this.
Really?
None of these guys.
Man, I find that I'm so surprised by the
best players in the damn world, and you're going to sit there and not take your warm-ups off? Come on, man.
I mean, somebody has to do it. So you're saying that you should run with 10 guys and then 2 guys that are like, not this caliber, 2 guys that are clearly below that caliber.
Adam, if you're going to say that, Derek White just joined the damn team.
That's so true.
Derek White was the 5th best player on his own team in the regular season.
Yeah.
And I guess it's needless to say, nobody really agreed with, or most people disagree with the way the minutes were divvied up. And I understand Kevin Durant was coming back. I thought maybe coming back from injury, that would have been, or even though he played very well, he shot the ball like he hadn't missed any time. He was really playing really well. And I understand that, but to not give Jayson Tatum any minutes whatsoever, coming off an NBA championship, already being, you can argue he was really the second best player in Tokyo in 2020. Kevin Durant was first. Jayson Tatum was the second best player on that team. If you go back, pull the tape. So that's a hard sell. Someone that is, doing everything right. Now, somebody online actually brought it up, and I thought I would share it. And it could be. They said Steve Kerr is playing Phil Jackson level mind games on Jayson Tatum. And what he's doing is by playing, Drew Holiday and Derek White, who even more so Derek White, because he was just added to the team, playing Derek White all those minutes and you're riding the pine, he's trying to, somebody was like, he's trying to play mind games to sow discourse into the Boston Celtics. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I have to take that with, I have to think about that because, everybody knows that, the Golden State Warriors beat the Boston Celtics last time. And they faced in the NBA Finals, that is. That's where they won in 2022. And it's I wouldn't be surprised if that's what's happening because there's really no other reason. I can't think of any other reason. I'm like, no minutes? Not none? It ain't like Jayson Tatum small, like, he could play, for everybody from Bam, LeBron. I mean, he can play. He can feel that time. He can get all the way. He can play Anthony Edwards minutes. He can play some of Steph Curry minutes. It ain't like Steph Curry had a really good game. I mean, I don't know, but I get it. That's his boy. Steph Curry's his boy. So Steve Kerr may be playing mind games. I don't know. It's not like Jayson Tatum is this is in his third year, or I could have seen Anthony Edwards not playing more than Jayson Tatum. I mean, Jayson Tatum has already done this for you, but help bring the gold medal home. Let me know what you guys think, man. Maybe I'm, overlooking it, but it doesn't seem like it when you look at what the other sports analysts are actually saying. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to holler at you guys next time. Peace.